And I'm going to switch this up, go back on our Zoom, and go back to the face shot because that's the money shot right there. All right, I think we're good. So I think we're streaming. All right, welcome everyone to Beat the Game. My name's Steve, and I have a very special guest with us today. We have Bill, also known as the Board Game Lawyer, and you guys can check out his channel on YouTube as well. Bill, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thanks for inviting me in today.
Oh, I'm glad you reached out because when you said you'd be interested in, talking about how the precons come around and what makes it interesting, well, and yeah, and playing these tag team games with the precons, yeah, I'm down for that. So yeah. You chose Black Panther when we were talking. So what exactly made you want to choose Black Panther, and what aspect outside of the recommended protection did you choose?
Yeah, so I picked Black Panther because I probably have more games in with Black Panther than any. Now, to be honest with you, I got into the game kind of late, so I didn't get a lot of reps in with the core set early on. In fact, okay. I didn't jump in until I got to Hulk. And to be honest with you, at that point, the game was a little bit, I mean, I know a lot of people say this is a very simple game, but it also felt quite a bit overwhelming to me as a new player back then, at trying to add everything in and figure out what's going on. And of course, Hulk has always been my favorite hero. So I jumped in playing with Hulk, right out of the gate. That was like my first game. And I was like, I stink at this. This is terrible. I got beat by Rhino. And so, so what I have done is I have gone back and I've played against Rhino with all of the precons. And it turns out that there's occasions where I'll just put precons together in my entire collection, and I'll just play with precons for a while. So, and I think they're well crafted. Just about all of them are really well done. So anyway,
yeah. I think anything on standard is very beatable. I remember my biggest frustration with a precon was with the Star-Lord pack. The first time, but again, I was playing Expert Klaw with the Masters of Evil precon, and I wasn't getting Star-Lord at the time. I'm like, I can't get this card, and I was using his Daring Escapes too quickly and trying to go for that big rush strategy using the precon, and it wasn't really built for that. So I was just getting hammered and frustrated, and I can understand that overwhelming feeling of just, why do I keep losing? Is it the character, or is it me? Because I see other people play this and they're like, wow, makes it look so easy. So yeah, I can understand why sometimes it's just why we struggle. And sometimes it just takes the time to just wait, let's relax. Let's see how we're doing this. And let's see if we change our mindset and the way that we play the game, and just go about it a little bit slowly, and just take time to focus on threat management and stuff like that. And then you see that, oh, okay, you can actually create some progression in there. And again, the more you play something, the better you get at it. So that's also a key factor.
Yeah, I think, and I guess every time I talk, you're looking at my board, right?
I know, I'm looking at your face right now. I also see your board, so.
Okay, I didn't know if folks out there are looking at the board or looking at my face, but that's okay.
We're learning. We're learning. 5-6 people out there watching us, so hello everyone in the chat. Hey, feel free to say hi. If you are more accustomed, if you are a fan of BGL, if you've watched this channel and he is here, I can see your ceiling now, which is cool.
Okay, then maybe
there you go.
See me for a minute till we start playing, I guess.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, so if you're in the chat, say hi. Say we're gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing She-Hulk in the Justice using only the core cards, and BGL. I'll just go by your handle.
All right.
BGL will be rocking some Black Panther aggression. So do you want to talk about what decisions you've made in the core set to upgrade Black Panther? Because I just released a video about Beyond the Precon this morning about Black Panther, and Black Panther aggression is very, very fun to play, especially with the Thor pack. When Yonborn came out, I was just like, oh, wow, I see the connections. But then after Thor, there wasn't a lot of things that were like, oh, wow, okay, I want to go back to Black Panther. I want to go back to Black Panther. Because again, you get new heroes, new mechanics, new ideas. And then I have to go back and think. But to be honest, Black Panther leadership is probably one of the strongest deck builds with the strengthened numbers. Like it was on top for the longest time, like as one of the best builds.
Yeah, and leadership, there's just so many choices with leadership as far as finding allies that can work with, and some really powerful events that allow for extra card drawing and everything. It almost feels like you're cheating sometimes.
Leadership is cheating.
Leadership cheating all the time. So, Black Panther, I think actually Black Panther can play in any aspect, really. I mean, the way that he has been made, I'm probably more drawn to protection and aggression and leadership than I am with Justice. But I think Justice is not a weakness for him by any means, because I think he's a strong character. So one of the things I decided to do, since and kind of what molded what I thought how I might build this deck, is not so much that we're going to be playing against Klaw today, but that we're going to be playing against M.O.D.O.K and Klaw.
Yes.
Yeah, so M.O.D.O.K has got a lot of health. Sometimes people just choose to leave M.O.D.O.K alone. I like punching M.O.D.O.K. I do. So why not? So whenever we're talking about Black Panther, we're talking about a character that is very, very rich. So you got all these resources that you can use. We've got his Vibranium, which comes in his player kit. We've got the power of aggression, which you can throw in your aggression aspect. And then you've got the energy, genius, and strength. So now you have 8 different cards with 2 resources each. So what cards would be good to fight against not so much Klaw, but maybe M.O.D.O.K, trying to keep the board state down? And also you told me that you're playing with She-Hulk Justice, right? So
correct.
I'm kind of thinking maybe you might be taking more care of the
threat.
Keeping the threat down, and I can do a little bit of the punching, and I'll particularly focus in upon the minions. So what I put in my deck as far as my events are concerned, of course, we have, and you say it better than I do.
What kind of weather?
All right. So we have Relentless Assault. It costs 2, and I have 8 different cards that can pay for it. Relentless Assault says deal 5 damage to a minion. If you paid for this card using a physical resource, this attack gains overkill. So there's 5 damage for 2 costs. And if you can find a fist, which I stuck several in here, then you can hit M.O.D.O.K. It won't take him down because he's 8 health, right?
8 health.
Won't take him down completely, and you'll have to take 2 retaliate.
Correct.
But at least maybe you can one-shot him after that and not have to take so much retaliation to get him off the board. So I want to hit M.O.D.O.K as much as you can today. I don't know, maybe, and you're going to see him probably in this deck.
So the good thing about the She-Hulk is when I do flip the hero form, which I have to find my hero card, I forget, it's somewhere in my box. When I flip the hero form, I will be able to deal 2 damage. So if he's in play, because I am going to be flipping a lot back and forth, just because the bigger hand size, and then a lot of my thwarting potential is an alter ego with She-Hulk, and that is something a lot of new players tend to forget. We tend to look at She-Hulk and, oh man, I'm just gonna punch, but she has such a cool alter ego side, which I went into detail in that video, that we kind of tend to forget. Like, she has the potential to do a lot of damage, but she also has the potential to control the threat a lot. And because you have a 2 thwart, I made sure that to add a heroic intuition in my deck to play on you. in case like you want to, let's say I'm falling a little behind on threat, then you have the potential to now thwart for 3. So that's something that I also like in multiplayer, that we can kind of play off of each other when that happens. There's also, I'm just going to go down to the table. You put 2 in? Perfect.
2 in there, buddy. So I got you covered.
Great minds. I'm going to go down to my table. So yeah, so what I did is I also have the 2 powers of justice. I got Jessica Jones, because with all of the side schemes that we're going to find, there's 2 in M.O.D.O.K that come in with 8. There's 3 in, so that's a potential of 5 side schemes coming out. Plus, if we get our Shadows of the Past, which the curse is always here, so it's probably going to happen. So that's a potential of like 6 threat removal with Jessica Jones, and then Daredevil as well. So some free damage. I also put in 3 first aids because I like to keep my allies alive. I don't like to sacrifice my allies. Once I pay for them, I have a tendency to keep them on the table the entire game unless absolutely necessary. But I do have some sacrificial allies with Nick Fury and Mockingbird. So these guys are going to be for you. There's the Avengers Mansion in my deck, the triple D resources, and the greatest card alive made by Dragon Lord Bahamut, who gave it to me at the Con of Heroes. It's the Steve Carrier. That's right, the legendary Steve Carrier. So it is not even a unique item. So I could have like 4 in my deck. Thank you for that, Dragon Lord. So it's a location that says Steve, max 1s per player, and action. Exhaust the Steve Carrier, choose the Steve Kimmel player, reduce the resource cost of the next card. That player plays this phase by 1. And the flavor text is the best. You guys know Brian from Brian's Basement. It says, "You didn't even ask this time." I just took it. So that was super fun. I love the flavor text on this card. It is so amazing. So that is my new Steve Carrier. Oh yeah, sorry. I actually put 2 Avengers Mansions in my deck to try to get one early on. I have the 3 surveillance teams, the interrogation room, the 3 for justices, and 2 great responsibilities. Because once in a while I'll flip up, and if I have this card in my hand, the threat that will be placed is I'm just gonna take it as damage.
Yeah.
So that is going to be my deck in a nutshell, using only the precon cards.
And you want to take some damage with She-Hulk, right?
Yep. You definitely want to take some damage, especially towards the end of the game when you can start pounding up those gamma slams.
Yes.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to go back. I was also thinking that once the Golden City is out for you, I don't know if you want to kind of opposite flip up and down. So when I'm up in hero form, you're down in alter ego. So you can take advantage of that bigger hand size.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to synchronize it that way when we're playing today. So
for sure,
because I'll be honest with you, I'm like 98% solo player. So I'm not, there's a lot of things about 2 players that even though I watch people play, I could use some help with. So, like for example, calling for an action.
Perfect. Yeah.
Never have done that too much. I mean, I've only, like I said, I play solo mainly. So that's
a lot of the players when you start the game, especially with COVID, not everyone gets a chance to play with some friends and stuff like that. Calling for actions. It's as simple as, Steve, do you think you're going to need your mansion? And I'm going to say yes. But if you don't, I can give it to you, and stuff like that, and like, Steve, can you remove some threat off of this scheme, or can you deal 2 damage to this minion, and then I'm going to go through it, or don't kill this minion, please. I'm going to go through him. So it's all about talking a little bit about our turn and coordinating how our efforts can synchronize.
Right.
All right. I'm going to find my hero cards. All right. So I do have your Black Panther here and She-Hulk.
I'm really glad that you're playing with She-Hulk, because I would say that of the 5 heroes in the core set, that is the one I have the least amount of reps with, and it's the one that I feel like I don't get. You know, like Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man. I play him a lot. I play Black Panther a lot. Love Captain Marvel. But She-Hulk just doesn't find her way to my table very much. So yeah, really appreciate you busting that out for me today so I can see how you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I love She-Hulk. She-Hulk was one of my go-to characters, like Spider-Man. And then I really, really enjoyed She-Hulk. It was my second go-to character. But I love those big green people. So, all right.
Yeah.
So let's do our setup. So T'Challa, you will be first player. I will be second player. First things first, I am going to shuffle the encounter deck.
Yeah.
And we enter our obligations afterwards. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to discard cards until we find a minion. And let's see if we find M.O.D.O.K on turn 1. That's always interesting.
Also have to get that network out, right, too?
Yeah, so the defense network will start into play with a 4 threat on it. Klaw will have 24 hit points. I do have a dial for him. Oh, there it is. You can control your own health. I'm not gonna keep track of yours.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep track of the villain who's at 24.
Okay.
And then we're gonna discard cards until we find a minion, and that is gonna come into play engaged with you. Well, he's gonna be put in front of you.
Okay.
So there goes a Doomsday Chair. So you do get an Armored Guard. So there's only one Doomsday Chair left in the deck, and we lost a Sound Manipulation. So that Armored Guard will come in with a Tough.
Okay.
And then I will shuffle in our obligations.
Would you like me to put the Armored Guard on my board? I have all the minions handy.
Yes, because you are first player. The minion comes into play in front of you.
Okay.
All right, so that is done. I'm going to shuffle my deck. We then can proceed to mulligans. And then once you are ready to go, we can start the action. And then again, so thank you if you are in the chat watching. Thank you so much for being with us. If you have any questions about She-Hulk, Black Panther, about our day, about anything really, you can just ask.
Please don't ask about my day. Oh, this is the best part of it.
This is the best part of going to bed. It's champions before that. I don't know. There's my jingle for the day. All right, so I am shuffling up, and here we go. All right, so I have a superhuman strike. So I have Jessica Jones already. So I always look at what are the cards I want to see on the table. All right, so I have a Jessica Jones, which is great. So I have a For Justice, but I was intending on staying down this turn. Okay. So I could either keep Jessica Jones and a surveillance team. So if I get a double resource, I might be able to play both. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. I don't need superhuman strength right now because I don't want to attack. I don't need the first aid, and I don't need the For Justice right now. So I'm going to discard 2 cards, and I'm going to keep 4 cards. I'll keep 2. I have a Focused Raged. Ooh, Hellcat. Great responsibility and a Power of Justice. So that's really good because what I can do is I can play Jessica Jones. I do have Hellcat, which I do kind of want to keep. And I'll see if I keep some cards in hand. All right, but I could place 2 things on the table. What does your turn 1 look like?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to mulligan here. So I've got Tigra, I've got Relentless Assault, I've got Mockingbird, the Power of Aggression, Tac Team, and Tactical Genius. So I did pull one of my upgrades, my Black Panther upgrades, into my hand right away. I also have Mockingbird, which could buy us some time. Mockingbird
is probably not a bad idea because if you get to pull a double resource, you can actually use that Mockingbird to stun the villain, ping the tough off, and then you could probably Relentless Assault or Tigra. So it's all depends on. Tigra's great because she's a 3/2 damage, and as long as she's the one taking out the minions, it makes perfect sense. So Tigra's always a good choice. So then it's all about deciding like, ooh, what do I want to keep?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe I could keep the power of aggression to play Relentless Assault. And like you said, Mockingbird could ping that armored guard. I can use Relentless Assault to take out the armored guard and hit Klaw on this turn. So I could discard maybe these 3 cards. I also get a chance to look for a upgrade for T'Challa after I take care of this mulligan.
And that's one thing about Black Panther is the more upgrades you have. So there's 2 choices. You can try to build your suit early, or you could, focus on the aggression aspect. That's one thing that I think it's interesting with Black Panther is you can choose what you want, because obviously if you have no Black Panther upgrades, then your Wakanda Forevers are going to be pretty sad. So we have Anne in the chat that says she's loving all the new format of reviewing the core set, and followed by adding in some cards from a couple packs. And if that is the same Anne is the one I met at Comic-Con, at Con of Heroes, we had a chance to play a couple games. And Anne is also on the design team or the production team for Catan, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
And she gave us these nice little pins for Catan right there. It was like, ooh. So it was very nice meeting. If it's the same Anne, and I'm pretty sure it is. So then it's up to you, my friend. What direction would you like to go? One thing to learn or one thing to remember is damage will come. The quicker you build your board presence, the better you will be going forward. So sometimes sacrificing 1 damage turn for a build turn is going to be, it is. Okay, so it is her. It might be a good way to go. So then it depends on what you want to do, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could pick Tactical Genius out, but I'm not really going for threat as much. But like you said, I won't get much out of my Wakanda Forevers. So how about we just focus on maybe through this first pass of the deck, trying to get these upgrades on the table. So how about if I hang on to Mockingbird, hang on to Tactical Genius, hang on to the power of aggression, and discard Tigra, Attack Team, and Relentless Assault?
Let's
see what we get.
So one thing I was gonna say, I'm gonna suggest is instead of Mockingbird, maybe keeping Tigra, because you have a double resource for Tigra.
Good point. Yeah.
So
great.
And then if you don't get a Vibranium or the other one, then Mockingbird is going to be like the awkward card.
Right. So Tigra, after Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal 1 damage from her. All right. So that's a good idea. That's a great idea. I'm all about suggestions about how to improve. Like I said, I'm still feel like I'm learning after all this time. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 more cards. So we got Chase Them Down.
Yep.
And we got Avengers Mansion. And we got another Relentless Assault. And it's at this point that I can go try to find my Black Panther.
And now you got your setup ability. So
okay. So Black Panther upgrade. I have the choice of Panther Claws or Energy Daggers, or I could also pull out my Vibranium Suit, which will allow me to move damage from myself to someone else.
So remember the suit. You always have to have receive damage to be able to move damage.
Right. Yeah. So early on, probably not so much, right? Until we actually start to take some damage.
I tend to go, if I'm the damage guy, I tend to go towards the claws myself. If there's a lot of retaliate characters, I tend to go towards the daggers. And then if there's like a lot of threat to remove, I'll go towards the tactical genius. So it always depends on what your role is, or what are you facing? What are you facing?
Yeah, exactly. Good point. So how about if I go grab the claws? I'll
It's a
grab the
good
claws.
4 damage card. So
Yep, we'll take it. And if it ends up being something that you play early and you play it last, you can do a lot of damage.
correct.
Get past that first.
To get past the sequencing, right?
Yeah, right. So as far as my economy goes, the only double resource I have at this point is the power of aggression.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to use it to play Tigra, would I have enough to pay for everything else? Not really. So
you have 7 cards. Then it's all about what can I do with my math. Then it's all about the math,
Yeah. And then that Avengers Mansion, I don't know, it may end up becoming a resource this early in the game. I hate that, but it could be part of it.
Here's my take on the Avengers Mansion. If you get it early with a double, it's a good play. If you don't have a double, I would never waste my hand.
Yeah.
Like my entire hand just for 1 card.
Right. So what I could do is I could hang on to that power of aggression, spend the 4 resources, the Avengers Mansion, Relentless Assault, Tigra, and chase them down. That'll get both of my upgrades out on the table, and then I can spill that power of aggression over to my next turn, hopefully.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, well, I do that then. So yeah, we're getting set up. It's probably where I fail is I want to, that first turn, do something. I just want to like punch somebody or do something, to get something off the table or whatever. So it's like you were talking earlier, that patience of building your hand,
because the damage, like I said, the damage will come. Like when you see what happens when we have 2 built heroes, correct? Right. It works. It's just easy.
Yeah. So I'll just hang on to the power of aggression. I don't really have anything else to do unless I flip up and start doing damage. Did you want to go up first, or?
We could switch. We could do whatever. Like I was thinking of my turn. I was thinking of playing Jessica Jones, but then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just put my surveillance down, and I'm gonna start building some economy with a focused rage or a Hellcat. So I think maybe I'm gonna do my Hellcat first, because Hellcat has this awesome ability of bouncing back to my hand. So for me, she makes a lot of sense, because then she can start removing 4 threat a turn. Now, can also be an argument for the focused rage and then start drawing more cards. So both are pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'll let you decide. Do you want to stay down? I'll go up. If you want to go up, I'll stay down.
I think I'll stay down and try to get the big hand draw.
Perfect. All right. So for my turn, I'm going to use the power of justice to play a surveillance team, and it's going to be Snoopy McSnoop. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I do want to play my Hellcat, but I think I'm going to go, since I'm going up this turn, I'm going to use 3 to play the focused rage. I am going to She-Hulk and punch the armored guard. Even lift. Obviously, he doesn't. I'm going to punch that guard for 3, taking him out. I am going to use a surveillance team to bring that defense network down to 3. And that will be my turn. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no double resources for Daddy Steve. But but look at that. See, now look at you.
Yeah.
Now you got some juice going. All right.
Yeah, sure do.
But first thing first, the villain will do his thing. So 2 threat will be placed on the main scheme. Klaw will scheme against you because you are an alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
For 2, nice. And a sonic boom. That is nice to see gone.
Yeah, get them out of here.
And then he will attack me. I will just take the hit for 0 and 1 damage, and I will get in a weapons runner. So I will go down to 14. The weapons runner will attack me as well, down to 13. And then we're going to give ourselves some encounter cards. 1 and 2. The first one for you is Klaw's Vengeance. Oh, you might not have a nice turn anymore.
Oh,
You're
boy.
going to have to discard a card at random from your hand.
Okay. Well.
And is it M.O.D.O.K? M.O.D.O.K turn 1? It is an assault. So Klaw will attack me again for 3, 4, 5, 6. Ouch.
Oh, man.
So 2 of the 3 triple boosts. Ouch.
Yeah.
So I am down to 7.
That was tough. That was a tough one because I lost my energy card.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, discarding cards is what I enjoy the least. And especially when it's randomized. All right, so I will use my focus rage and go down a little bit to go down to 6. And I will draw a card. Oh, money. All right, so this is my money card here. It's called Split Personality. All right. So since I know that you have a Nick Fury, I will not use Nick Fury.
Okay.
But what I am going to do is I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 and play my Split Personality. And this is her money card because now I'm going to go down to Alter Ego and I can draw up to hand size.
Nice.
So 2, 3.
Oh, there you go.
4, 5, and 6. So
You know,
I'm
don't
going
take
to
advantage of that card, and I don't take advantage of that split personality ever.
That is her signature best card.
I can't. I don't use it. I like what you just did, though. My goodness.
And now I'm ready. I go back.
Yeah, full turn.
And the best part is now I have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Legal Practice. I'm going to pitch a first aid to remove a threat in Alter Ego. I'm going to flip back up to She-Hulk. I will do 2 damage to this weapons runner.
Wow.
And then I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. I will play Daredevil, who is going to remove 2 threats and get rid of the defense network.
Nice.
Take a damage, and we will inflict the first damage on Klaw.
All right.
And then my turn is up. I'm going to keep my surveillance team here. I don't think we need to remove more threat, but if you wish to stay down one more turn, you are more than welcome to. While you build up, She-Hulk will hold the fort.
So does it make sense to spend these 4 resources to put out Nick Fury this early?
There's 2 choices. Yeah, Nick Fury can also remove threat, draw you cards, and help you accelerate. So it's not a bad idea. And then maybe you'll find your golden city. It'll help you dig.
Sure would.
So the great thing about Black Panther is most of his cards are 2 cost. So maybe you'll find something that you're looking for, or you hold on to Nick Fury and just play a helicarrier.
Put out the helicarrier. Yeah.
So there's 2 options here, because you're not sure what you're going to get, or you gamble it and see, like, because you might just draw into like vibranium, Wakanda Forever, and you'd be like, oh man, I should have waited 1 turn. So there you go. Those are your options. It's always weighing, all right, what am I going to do?
Yeah. How's your health looking? You're sitting at 11.
I'm at 11. I'm fine.
So you don't really need a chump blocker at this point, like with Nick Fury necessarily. Nope. So by putting that helicarrier out, like you were talking earlier, that would really help to build my board state early on. And it's something you can use as well. It's
correct. And that's why we call it the Steve Carrier.
If I spent 3 to put out the helicarrier, I could spend 1 to play the Wakanda Forever.
If you want to flip up to hero form.
If I'm in hero form. Well, the Wakanda Forevers will be there forever. How about if we I like what you said with holding on to Nick Fury and putting out the helicarrier. So while I do that, if it's all right with you for me to stay down.
Yeah.
I think we're in pretty good shape if I do that. So yeah, let's do that. I'll put the helicarrier out. We'll spend the uppercut, the power of aggression, and Wakanda Forever. to put out our helicarrier. Can't really do anything more than that other than just kind of hang around and try to build some more board state. So
one thing that I like, and now we see, like, look, the crisis on the side scheme is gone. This is the best time to do it. The villain's the only there. He's twiddling his thumbs, waiting for us to do something. We got 4 out of 12 threat. It's not that high. I can remove 2, 3 just by myself on the next turn.
Nice.
So it's not, like I said, we saw a lot of the triple boost icons. We're not in too bad of a board state. So
I like the fact that you're tracking our boost icons. I don't think I do that enough. Pay attention to what boost icons got. I may pay attention to cards, but not necessarily boost.
So with Klaw is in his kit, normally there's only 2 triple boost icons. But with Doomsday Chair, I think there's 3 more. So there's like 5 triple boost icons.
Wow. I didn't even pay.
I think on the Hall of Heroes, there's also a little thing that says this modular has 12 boost icons total or 15 boost icons total. So that's a lot of information that you can kind of play with. And you're like, oh, okay. So that's why I'm like, okay, defending against Klaw, the odds of me getting the other Sonic Boom are not super high because there's already one gone. So that's how I judge what I'm going to do a lot of the times. I'm like, I think about what are the odds? What are the odds am I going to get an advance? What are the odds for this?
It's all about
thanks, Chris.
Probability.
So Chris Salmazi is like 2 of my favorite YouTubers.
Hey, Chris, good to see you tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, there you go. So I'm glad that I got to get to know some of your audience. All right, so scheme is going to go to 6 out of 12.
All right.
So next turn we are going to take care of that a little bit, but that's going to be a little bit on you next turn.
So,
all right, he is going to want to attack me. I'm going to just take his hit.
You've already drawn your hand size.
Oh, right? Shoot. Yeah, I have to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I also have a Steve Carrier, and and then I could probably give you. Where's your Wakanda? Where's your vibranium money?
I don't know where it's at. I think I put it in here. I hope I did. My goodness.
It'd be funny if you have it all on the side.
Or I'll probably draw all my resources at one time.
Yeah, sometimes that's what happens when you're if you get a little bit unlucky, it does happen.
And this is such a resource heavy deck. I mean, 8 cards with 2 resources. You know, I've only seen 2 so far, I think.
So maybe I'll be able to help you out and give you my helicarrier, your helicarrier. Oh no, I won't have the helicarrier yet. All right. So Klaw wants to attack me. I'm gonna take the hit for 0, 1, 2. I'll take 2 damage. I'll go down to 9 health. He is going to scheme against you for 2 plus nothing.
Nothing.
So that is going to go to 8. I will take an encounter card, and you will take an encounter card, and I will take sound manipulation. So he will go back up to 24, and I will go down to 7. And advance.
Oh no.
Statistically, I was hoping it would come out. I knew it was going to come out either on this turn or the next, because I'm like, we went through a bunch and we haven't seen one. So the odds are we were going to see one. So it's going to go to 10. Just 10.
I'll take it.
And then you get a weapons runner. All right. So now the turn passes to you.
All right.
I'm going to take a damage and draw a card on an action. So I'm going to call for an action, and I'm going to take a damage to draw a card. And it's a first aid. Sweet.
First aid. All right. So as far as my hand is concerned, I have, again, we left that Nick Fury in my hand. We have a Haymaker. I put those in just to do a little extra damage in case it got out of control. Ancestral Knowledge. We've got Hulk. I have a Hulk.
You have a Hulk.
I have a Hulk, and we have energy daggers and first aid as well. So, ancestral knowledge. Choose up to 3 different cards in your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck.
So that's great. You don't have vibranium in your deck yet? What's cool is with that card, you can just bring back all 3 of your double resources.
Yeah. I can bring back it says 3 different cards. So yeah, all those doubles. I could bring back Wakanda Forever, energy. I could bring back
your mansion too, because you've only seen 1 double resource so far.
Right.
So the odds are is you'll probably get a few more.
Think it's worth bringing back Wakanda Forever, or should we bring something back like a Mockingbird? Or
I think your Wakanda Forever, if we look at it damage wise, the Wakanda Forever right now, it removes a threat and deals 4 damage,
right,
or it deals 2 damage and removes 2 threat. So for 1 resource, it's pretty good.
And if I spend 1 resource, that will, to play Ancestral Knowledge, that'll knock me out of my Nick Fury for this turn.
Actually, not really, because you have your Hell Carrier.
Hell Carrier, yeah. And I did get the energy daggers, which builds up my board state.
And then your Wakanda Forevers can deal 5 damage and remove a threat, which is very good.
So, I mean, I could hang on to Nick Fury for another turn, spend Hulk and Haymaker to put out the energy daggers, and then that Ancestral Knowledge will get back some cards that I needed. You can use my first aid for that. So how about I do that? I'll use the Ancestral Knowledge since I'm in alter ego form right now, and I can play it.
Yeah,
might as well do it. And that will bring back my Avengers Mansion, my energy card, and Wakanda Forever. I'll shuffle those into my deck.
Sounds good.
And then with those 2 resources, I'll just throw Hulk away, and I'll get rid of that Haymaker to put out some more Black Panther upgrade.
Cool.
Or I could hang on to, let's see.
You still have enough resources to play.
And I have the Helicarrier too.
Correct. And I don't need it. So
playing Nick Fury, maybe?
Might as well.
That's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking anything. I'm waiting on you.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, we're playing together, so I'm always the suggestion. So if I got the Helicarrier, I could put the Nick Fury out. Let's do it. Put out Nick Fury. Draw cards.
Did you shuffle after you put those cards back in?
I did. I shuffled up.
Yeah.
Let me just give it. I'm just going to give it 1 more shuffle just to make sure it got good and shuffled up here. And that probably threw me out of all my good cards.
You'll draw into them.
So we draw a Haymaker, and we have Vibranium, and we draw Shuri.
Oh, good stuff.
Good stuff. You don't have a resource you can afford for me.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. I'm going to say if I put Shuri out.
So do you have a 1 cost upgrade? That is the question.
How much is it Tenacity?
No, that costs 2.
That costs 2.
So there is no 1 cost upgrades in the precon. So unfortunately, but you could always play Shuri and then have it for the next turn.
Search your deck for an upgrade, or I could, Haymaker and hang on to Shuri.
You could,
and at least get some value out of that. Nick Fury, he could knock out. Do we need to take care of some threat with Nick Fury?
Yeah, we're gonna take care of a little bit of threat, if at all possible. That little 1/1 is not really menacing.
Let's do that. And then, boy.
I have the way I play, I try not to overthink things.
Yeah.
Just what makes the most sense? Do I need another blocker? Do I need to deal some damage? What do I need? Shuri's a tutor. Tutors are always good. Damage is always good. So it's just basically, what do you feel like doing? You've been like relaxing on your throne for two turns. Maybe you want to get into the action.
No.
It's all about like, how do you feel?
How about we just flip up and do some damage?
Correct. Can you thwart a little bit more though, if it's possible?
I can remove 2 threat with the Black Panther.
Perfect. And I'll remove 2 with Daredevil and 1 more. So that's going to bring us back to a nice number.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I pay for the Haymaker, I'll be overspending to knock out the weapons runner, who only does 1 damage anyway. So how about we do 3 damage to Mr. Klaw?
Boom. He's down to 21.
Yeah. I'll just hang on to Shuri. Maybe I can use her next turn.
Sounds like a plan. So I will use my Daredevil to remove 2 more threat to bring it down to 4. And I will deal the damage to your weapons runner. So when he attacks you, he'll just die.
Right.
I will also remove a threat with my surveillance team. And then I am going to spend 3 to play my Steve Carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 1 first aid, 2 first aid. So I only have 1 first aid left. So I'm going to use my first aid, my Steve Carrier, to play a first aid on my Daredevil to keep him into play. Good. And then next turn, I'll give you this.
Okay.
And then I'm at 6 health. So I will take advantage and go back up to 11. Not to be too crazy. So now technically I have a hand size of 8 when I flip the She-Hulk, because from Alter Ego, I do 2 damage. I can take a damage, and my carrier, that makes us a very, very strong hand size. 2, 4, nice. 5. And there you go. So free. And then I can even play an Avengers Mansion on you, which is good. And I can start putting down my Superhuman Law Division. And I can start removing threat a lot more in Alter Ego.
Perfect.
Which is very good. All right.
I picked up, in addition to Shuri, I got Wakanda Forever. I got the Power of Aggression, Combat Training, and a Vibranium Suit. That's my hand.
That's already, he's like, sorry, BGL, no Steve Carrier for you.
We got the BGL carrier over here.
There you go.
All right.
All right. So I placed 2 threat on the main scheme, which goes up to 5. Since you are in hero form, Klaw wishes to initiate an attack against you. Do you wish to block, take the damage, or Nick Fury?
How about Nick Fury this one?
Nick Fury will be taking 0 damage. So he will be staying. And then we lost the other advance.
Nice. Get rid of those things. Those things always take me out.
The weapons runner will attack you for 1.
I'll take that ping.
And he will die to retaliate.
All right. Get out of here, weapons runner.
Klaw will scheme for 2 plus 3. Ouch. Goes back up to 10. But it's a good thing. We saw the other advance go by. Right. So now we don't have to worry too much. So all the 3 boosts are gone, I think. Maybe M.O.D.O.K is a 3 boost. But he would be the last one.
Haven't seen M.O.D.O.K yet.
You get an armored guard with a tough status card. And I get, there you go, Affairs Estate. You can exhaust and recover. Exhaust and flip down. Or, I forgot. Objection. I forgot to object on the main screen. There you go. So it's at 9. So you get to choose. Do you want to discard a Black Panther upgrade and discard this? Or do you want to flip down to Alter Ego and remove this from the game?
I'm going to flip down to Alter Ego and remove that thing. Get it out of here.
Egon. All right. Perfect. My turn. I become first player. Daredevil will remove 2 threats, take a damage, and ping the tough off your armored guard. So you are exhausted in an alter ego. All right. All right. I'll make a deal with you. If you give me your helicarrier, I will give you an Avengers Mansion.
You want the BGL carrier?
Yeah, I'll take the BGL carrier.
Okay.
So I'll call for an action for your BGL.
I'm kind. You can have it.
All right. So if you want to exhaust it, so 1, 2, surveillance team and 1-2 punch for 4. I'm going to play an Avengers Mansion, and I will let you draw the card.
All right. Thank you.
I am going to flip to She-Hulk. Do you even lift? And deal 2 damage to your armored clown. I am going to spend the power of justice to equip you with a heroic intuition. So now you can thwart as well. Now you can thwart for 3 if you want. But do you wish to attack more often, or do you wish, you know what? Here, I have a better idea. Since you're exhausted,
right?
I'll just put it on myself.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
I was just looking at that thinking I can't use it right now. So
I'll take a damage and draw a card. Oh, it's a blocking bird. I'm going to discard blocking bird, and I'll play my superhuman law division. So this is round 3, I believe.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I stayed down for 3 rounds, didn't I?
Yeah. So this is round 4. Yeah. So on 4 turns, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards on the table, which is very, very good.
Nice.
All right. Do you have any Wakandas Forever this time?
I've got a Wakanda Forever in my hand.
Oh, that's great. So maybe if that works, we can do some Wakandoing this turn. And you can.
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm going to punch for 3 and bring Klaw down to 18. So slow and steady wins the race. So we'll both be in hero form this turn.
Okay.
So we'll give the threat a break. And I pass it over to you, sir.
Okay. I could flip over to my hero form. I have nothing to do in my alter ego form other than maybe using Shuri to put her out. I've got, just to kind of review what I have in my hand, I've got the power of aggression. The only 2 aggression cards I've got to spend with that is Relentless Assault and Combat Training. I got a Wakanda Forever, Shuri, and a Vibranium Suit. So if I were to put my Vibranium Suit out, it's probably not a bad idea.
Do you have anything to heal?
I've got the Vibranium Suit, which will allow me to remove damage from myself to someone else.
Are you full strength still? You're still at 10, or are you're at 11?
I'm at 10 right now, so full strength for me would be 11. So I could heal 1 to flip a damage over that armored guard just to get rid of him. That way we can start doing damage to Klaw.
Yeah. So you're kind of like in that weird position where you're one card
short of what I need to do. My BGL carrier short.
Hey, I gave you an Avengers Mansion.
Okay.
I gave you an extra card.
I'll take it. I'll take the Avengers Mansion. I mean, I got a relentless assault out of it. So let's see. So if I did, so the threat that I could remove, I can remove 2 threat if I use the Tactical Genius last in this Wakanda Forever. Mm-hmm. I do think I'm going to go ahead and put that Vibranium Suit out, and I'm going to pay for it with the Relentless Assault and Combat Training.
You do have 2 in your deck.
I do. So Combat Training is spent. We'll use the power of aggression. I needed to flip over to my hero form. So power of aggression is going to be used as a resource. I'm going to overspend, I guess, to play Wakanda Forever. Resolve the special ability of each Black Panther upgrade. So I'll start
on this channel. When you do Wakanda Forever, you got to mean it.
Okay. Wakanda forever.
Come on, get into it.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Oh,
Okay.
Can you
I'm
not
never
talk
going to
loud?
be able to compete with that. I'm not going to be able to compete. But no, I'm more like, somebody told me I was like the Bob Ross of content creator, just the happy little
Happy little Wakanda.
happy little Wakanda
here.
forever. Yeah. So I just I'm gonna count on you for the rest of the game to say my Wakanda forever. Is that okay?
Okay. So you're passing the torch.
You could be my wingman. You could be my wingman on the Wakanda forever. So
all right, I'll be the Wakandan wingman.
So we'll go ahead and just pass that damage off to the armored guard just to get rid of him. I don't like him sitting there.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
He is gone.
All right. And then we'll do our 2 damage now, since we can, to Klaw.
Down to 16.
And then being this is our final action, I can remove 2 threat from the main scheme.
Perfect. And it's down back again to 5. So we have a lot of control on the board right now. It's looking pretty good.
Earlier, whenever you talked about that combat training that I tossed, I still do have Shuri. So if I ever wanted to go retrieve it for whatever reason, I still probably could, unless I draw.
I think she only grabs it from the deck, right? I don't think she grabs it from the discard.
Yeah. So it says to your hand, search your deck. So I think there was, let me look in my discard pile, since that's legit. Yeah, it's still in my deck, I believe. So
perfect.
Hang on to her.
There you go.
Not that, I'm crafting a whole turn around grabbing the combat training, but like you said earlier, to toss it is not the end of the world,
So I have an interrogation room, which is great. I also have a ground stomp if we get some of those armored guards. And if I do go down, I have my second Avengers Mansion to just toss and remove 2 threat and alter ego, which is great.
I managed to pick up a vibranium. Finally, it feels like I got a Wakanda forever. Oh, you got to say it. The Golden City and strengths.
Oh, look at you. You're full of money now. Now you feel like royalty.
I had to dig a little deep to get this cash. This vibranium was buried deep.
Yeah, you had to do some extra digging, which is great. All right, so we're going to go to 7. I am going to get attacked by Mr. Klaw for 0. So I think I'm just going to take that hit. So for 2, oh no, and I got the sonic boom, which means I'm going to get exhausted and go down to 8 health. Klaw will then attack you, sir. Do you wish to defend or?
I've got 11 health, so why don't I just hang on to it? Or go ahead.
You won't get exhausted because
right.
So yeah, you're taking 3 damage because you survived the attack. Retaliate will take Klaw down to 15.
Well, I'm glad I survived.
I'm glad you survived too. And then I will take my encounter card, which is there you go. Illegal's Arm Factory, and it's going to have 5 threat on it. Ugh. And that is a hazard icon, which means the first player will be taking some extra encounter cards. If it's still there. And there another armored clown. So these bad boys have been coming out, and they've
all been on me too, haven't they?
Yeah,
they all have been. I guess I'm a magnet for it. These guys.
A magnet for clowns.
A clown magnet. Yeah. Oh, nightmare material there. Running around with a magnet attached to you that's drawing clowns in. Yeah, that's. Ugh.
So you have some nice things that you can do. Would you like some extra resources, or are you good?
You are offering resources.
I guess I could be offering.
Let me see. The Shuri, I've been hanging on to her for a minute, and she allows me to go find an upgrade. I'm going to kind of like thumb through my discard pile to see what kind of upgrades I've already burnt through. And so the energy daggers, I know I can't go grab it. And
so technically you have 1 left. because I think you burn you have all three of the other upgrades. So the only other upgrade in your deck would be your combat training.
Combat training. And I did I put tenacity in here? I cannot remember if tenacity is that a core set.
It is a core set card.
I put that core set upgrade in there and that's the one that allows you to stand back ready yourself
at the cost of a physical. Not the most optimal card.
Nah.
But it is. I like it in She-Hulk most of the time. It's a card. She at least deals that extra damage.
Yeah. I kind of threw a couple cards in here just because I knew we were playing precon stuff, because I don't normally play with them, just to kind of see how they work, so
experimenting with cards is how you find out some cool possibilities,
Yeah. So the Golden City, I got that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is a card. That is a great card.
So how about I put out the Golden City because we have it.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it. We'll use our vibranium to pay it.
Can I make a suggestion when you this is just
are you gonna say
if you're gonna use resources,
right?
Use the ones that because let's say you draw some extra cards and then you need a specific card. Not right now, because right now the only card that kind of has a special trigger is your Relentless Assaults. But as the game progresses, there's more and more cards that have that kicker cost, and your vibranium, since it can be used for anything,
you're right.
It's just a good habit to have. So when you are playing in multiplayer, or if you are playing with more advanced decks, those vibraniums, the fact that they can pay, especially with that new card called Home Technique, which requires a mental to play an aggressive event to boost its effect. So I've already thought about a couple cards I really want to add in Black Panther Aggression, just because of that.
Gotcha.
Because the vibranium will help with the kicker costs.
Yes, I love that you brought that out, because as soon as I did that, I was like, wait a second, I'm throwing away wild resources.
And it's not trying to tell people what to do. It's just like, here, if you want to just think about, right now, it doesn't matter, but
for futuring, it's like you always want to try to, like you said, hang on to things that are going to potentially give you more value. And that's certainly what vibranium can do for me here. It probably won't today, because I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to spend that strength to put out that Golden City, and then I will use vibranium to pay for Shuri, and she'll let me go find an upgrade. And that upgrade that we were talking about, that I hope is still in my deck over there, is one that I can use as a resource to actually pay for Wakanda Forever.
That's great.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put out Shuri for that vibranium, and here's where we decide whether or not I did things correctly or not. We've got there's that tenacity card, which is going to end up being a resource that she allowed me to go get. It's probably, I can't use combat training right now anyway, so I'll just go grab tenacity. It's what's going to allow me to play that Wakanda Forever. So I guess the question is do I want to, let's see, I'm in Black Panther form. I can remove threat. Shuri, she could also remove some threat. Our threat is at 10 right now. I'm having a little trouble seeing that. Is that right?
It's actually at 7 right now.
It's at 7. Okay. And we've got 5 threat over there on the side scheme.
On the side scheme. So the side scheme should be our priority. But if you decide to use Shuri, your Wakanda Forever as the tactical genius, and yourself, you can get rid of it. And I can also use Daredevil to do that. Now, the question is, do you want to flip down this turn to take advantage of your Golden City? Or do you want to stay up?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So right now I'm at 8 health. And you are, how are you looking on your health?
I am down to 8. If I can flip down, I can also remove more threat in alter ego.
Gotcha. So I could stay up maybe and take a punch or two. So I may not be able to take advantage of the Golden City right now, like I maybe could. But what this will do is it'll allow you to have a helicarrier.
Oh, well, I was counting on that.
Okay. I was, yeah. So how about I do that? I'll spend the.
So here's one of the things that playing in multiplayer is going to be more beneficial. So since Wakanda Forever is an event, you can wait till I actually remove my threat with Daredevil and ping the tough off of your guard, so you don't waste the damage that you're going to be moving. Effectively, between the moving the damage and the 2 damage from the claws, we will kill we'll take out the armored guard.
Okay.
Without,
that's one of those little nuances that you play in multiplayer that I'm just not.
Yeah.
As fun. So, yeah. So how about I follow that suggestion, because I think it's a good one. And so what we were going to do was with Black Panther, I was going to remove threat, right? Is that
correct? Yeah.
And so we're remove that threat off of that side scheme, and the same thing with Shuri.
Yeah. So it's down to 2.
Yeah. And if I wait and hang on to my Wakanda Forever for your turn, then that would be the end of my turn. There's nothing really else I can do right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'm interested in seeing what you're going to pull off right now.
So I'm going to remove 2 threat, and Daredevil will get rid of this and ping the tough off of your guy. And then if you want to call for an action.
Yeah. Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
There you go. Wakanda Forever for 1 tenacity.
There you go.
So the tough is gone from the armored guard. So we're going to move 1 damage over to the armored guard with the vibranium.
Yep.
And then we'll do 2 more damage with the claws, because we can't damage Klaw since he's a guard.
Yeah.
And then with the tactical genius, we can remove 2 threat.
Beautiful. All right.
Nice.
I will draw a card with my Avengers Mansion, which is a legal practice. I will take a damage, go down to 7 and draw a card, which is a surveillance team, which is great. I will then flip down to alter ego. I am going to throw away a Avengers Mansion for the superhuman law division to bring that back down to 3. I will use both Steve carriers for 1 and 2.
It's a BGL carrier.
To play another surveillance team, which will remove a threat. I will then use a superhuman strength to play an interrogation room, and a legal practice to remove 1 more threat by pitching a ground stump. And that is how we clean some house.
That's great. I see in the chat that Brant says that he can't wait to hear my Spider Ham. So that's probably designed for me. That's one of the ones that I'm really, really looking forward to is Spider Ham. I'm probably the weird one in the bunch, but I'm looking forward.
Spider Ham was a blast to play test.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you noticed, but inside the Sinister Motives, you'll see Brian, Brant, and myself, and all of the expansions, like in the little book in the back as playtesters.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Steve Kittle, Brant Sanderson, Brian DeCastro, amongst all of the other gentle fellas who help shape the way of the game. So I decked out. Did I deck out before you?
You sure did. I mean, I don't know why I've got so many cards left, but
well, remember my split personality went through I drew an extra 5 cards.
Yeah, I've only got 23 cards in my discard pile. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm gonna have another sexy turn because I got Senor Fury. I got a For Justice 1-2 punch, superhuman strength. So Klaw's about to get a superhuman spanking.
I picked up Uppercut, Tac Team, Energy, Vibranium, and a Combat Training.
Perfect. All right. So by the end of my first deck pass, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards out of 40. So that means my deck size is down to 31. And for anybody who's like wondering like how to make your decks more efficient, well, this is a secret. The more cards you get to put on the table, the more often I'll be able to see all my big cards, my big events that are going to make me push through and win the game.
Gotcha.
So that's one strategy here. It's not always effective, especially if the villain is very, very fast. But once you get to put some stuff out, like, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't burn that surveillance team, even though there's 1 token on it. Right. I want it out of my deck. So that is a great way to just, and if I absolutely need it, I'll use it. But until that time, that card is staying on the table and not going back into my deck. So those are little hints.
Little tricks of the trade.
Cool little tricks, especially when you're starting on standard. You'll see, like, look how much control we have on the table. So I will objection. So I will object on one of these threats. All right. You are first player, sir. So he will be attacking you for 0.
Okay. And
do you wish to defend, or do you want to just take the hit?
I think I'll just take the hit.
He's attacking you for 1. And this M.O.D.O.K, is this M.O.D.O.K?
Gotta be.
Here he is. So for 3. Now, one thing to know, you see that Klaw takes 2 boost cards. So we have to resolve the final boost card, and we decked out. So these 2 cards, or the last card, does not get reshuffled in. It goes on the side because they resolve after we shuffle the encounter deck.
Okay. So that first one that you drew, that first boost you drew, you wouldn't discard that before drawing the second one. Is that correct?
No, because it's a forced interrupt. So you do both at the same time.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Do you resolve them one at a time, though? Like if there's a special action on them, though?
Yeah, if there's a special action, like if it was like...
do the first one and then the second one. And
exactly. So now there's more and more cards like that have special star icons. Yeah. So those cards you would actually resolve, like I said, one at a time. We're going to talk about Scarlet Witch here. So when she does her ability, or when, let's say, this happens against her, so she is allowed to look at the cards, and then she can decide, I'll chaos that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the same thing for when she does her hex bolt and stuff like that. At first I was doing it one at a time, but it's not the way. Like, it's basically just do both and then choose which one you want to control the chaos with. All right. So, and then he's going to scheme against me for 2. Hey, there's an advance gone.
Get that out of here.
Yep. There you go. So those are gone. There's only 1 advance left. So you will get an encounter card, and I will get an encounter card. Let's see if we can find M.O.D.O.K. Assault.
Oh,
so he wants to attack you again. Oh,
let's see. He attacked me.
He did attack you, right?
He attacked me for 3 earlier.
For 3. So he would have taken 1 retaliate.
Yeah. And so
now remember, those
down to 6.
There is now 4 triple boost cards left. So if he gets both triples, you can be taken out of the game.
I'm going to have to block this one, I'm afraid.
You're going to block? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's attacking you for 2 and 3. -2 is 1 damage. And then he takes a retaliate.
Yeah. I just wanted to be safe.
That's a good plan. There it is. So my Shadows of the Past comes out. So I get Titania.
Mm.
And then the personal challenge, which has 5 threat on it as well. And then we'll put these cards back in. Boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
So interestingly enough, Titania, the best thing to do, well, you can just keep her at 1, or you can just take her out, and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
I figured my shadows would come. Oh no! So biomechanical upgrades is going to surge and attach to Titania, and I'm going to get an armored clown. My turn to get him.
Yeah. Maybe this pass you can take care of them.
I'll take care of those. All right. So now it comes to me. I have 7 health, and I was exhausted. All right. I'm going to start by drawing a card. Oh no! It's the split personality. Darn, that card's good. All right. All right, so let's see what we do here. Check this out. First things first. She-Hulk is going to flip and deal 2 damage to Titania. And I am going to take a damage, go to 6, draw a card. Perfect. I am then going to spend 4 resources to play Nick Fury, who's going to draw me 3 more cards. 1, 2, and 3. All right. I am then going to use my Steve Carrier to play a first aid on Daredevil, bringing him back to full strength. Daredevil will remove 2 threats from the personal challenge to bring that down to 3. And he will deal a damage on the armored guard. He will take a damage. I am then going to use... Oh, this is so good. All right. I am then going to use... All right. She-Hulk to punch for 3 on the armored guard. I will be able to now remove a threat with my interrogation room. Nick Fury will remove 2 threat from the personal challenge, taking that out. I am then going to play... you don't sorry, 1-2 punch. After I do a damage, I will ready myself up. I am then going to punch Titania for 3. I am then going to split personality, flip back, draw 6 more cards.
Wow.
3, 4, 5.
Oh no.
And 6. That's fine. It's perfect. I'm going to spend 3 to play my other focused rage. I'm going to spend my great responsibility to remove 2 more threats. And I think I'm just going to keep my ground stump and my energy for next turn.
Seems good.
How good of a turn was that?
That was amazing.
And that is the power of the split personality. And I'll remove 1 more threat with my surveillance team. So there's 2 surveillance teams with 1, but that's when you see like, wow, look at this turn. Look how much you can do when, you set yourself up for success.
That was great.
There you go. Start with 6, come back up, draw 3, draw 6, draw 9, draw 1,000,000. Unfortunately, my friend, as I went back down to Alter Ego, but if you wish to go to Alter Ego 2 to take advantage of that Golden City, I don't think we have much of an issue.
Not a bad deal, huh?
Not a bad deal.
I can, I've got cards that do damage in my hand. Now you neglected my Steve Carrier, right? So you left that for me.
Of course. That is all for you, sir.
So I don't I've got the uppercut, which is a hero action, so I'll have to take that before I drop down into my alter ego form to use the Golden City. I've got Tack Team as well if I don't end up drawing anything else, which will come out with counters. It's simply an action. Now, here's a question, since I'm just a solo player normally, that interrogation room, that only works for you, right?
So this is one of the weird cards, and I've been trying to talk to Caleb and Michael. Well, no, I can't talk to Michael anymore, but I was trying to talk to Caleb about why is this the only card of this type that is not max 1 per player or play under any player's control. If you look at all the other effects that have this, that are technically similar, look at endurance, look at what's the other, I forget all the other ones there. The ones in protection, the one in leadership, the one in, and they all have, you can play under any player's control. But for some reason, this came in the precon with Justice.
And it's just you.
And it's just for you. And they gave you 3 of them.
Okay.
So I was like, unless there's 4 people playing Justice at the table, it's a little weird. So that's one of the ones that I kind of house rule that, you know what, if I want to, I'm going to play this under any player's control because it does make more sense.
Well,
but yeah, that is that.
I guess if you can have multiples in your deck, it just, if you really just want to get that interrogation room, put more copies in there, but the rest of them are just resources, right? So
exactly. So that's why it's a little weird for me, but again,
and it only works for you. Like if you defeat the minion, it's under
exactly, not your allies, you the hero.
So we'll just so thanks for bringing that out. So how about if I were to, I think I'll use that helicarrier and the energy to do the uppercut. How much damage does it take to remove Titania at this point?
So Titania is only scheming for 1.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. So she can stay there, because when I remove threat with Daredevil, I'm going to get rid of the bio enhancements, and then I can just punch her out.
Gotcha. So we won't worry too much about that then.
She's not.
So we'll give an uppercut to Klaw.
Yeah. So let's take him down. He's down to 8.
Okay. And it's at this point, because I don't have any more hero stuff currently in my hand, I think I'll go ahead and flip over to my alter ego.
Yep.
Yeah, because I couldn't even remove any threat. I was exhausted, and I don't have any Wakanda Forevers in my hand. So I'll go ahead and exhaust the Golden City to draw 2 cards. And we draw a Wakanda Forever and another Wakanda Forever.
I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, you've only seen 2 Wakanda Forevers, so I felt like, all right, you're gonna draw into them, but that's okay.
I'm not really too concerned about it, because here's the deal: I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in my hand now, and so I would only draw 1 more card in alter ego form at this point. If I were to just leave my hand intact, which I'll probably spend something for something, right? But this is where I'm going to count my player deck to see whether or not I'm going to deck myself. And there's 3 cards left in my player deck, in my play deck. So if I hang on to those Wakanda Forevers and maybe hang on to the Tack Team, no, I'll have to hang on to 2 things. 1, 2. You know what I'm getting at? It's like, do I want to deck myself, or should I hang out for a minute? Because I can't do anything with the Wakanda Forevers. The combat.
So here's the kind of like the little bit of a trap that you're in, the predicament. If you hold on to those Wakanda Forevers, that means they're gone for the next whole deck pass.
True.
But
okay,
if you spend them now,
yes,
you're going through your deck, they're coming right back on the next deck pass.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm learning. I get that. All right. So if I were to put out a Tack Team using combat training, Wakanda Forever and Wakanda Forever, I would give me a vibranium that I can hang on to.
Yeah.
I'll get a nice support out onto the table, and I'll still deck myself, right?
And exactly. You're going to take an extra encounter card, but
hey, I got my Wakanda Forevers that I'll be able to use in my next deck pass. Thanks for pointing that out. That's great. I love it.
So that's the thing is like you could keep them, but then your whole next deck pass, there's only 3 in your deck.
That's okay.
So it kind of comes out to the same. It's just that next time you'll have them, you'll be in hero form, and then you can just do 2 or 3 in a turn and really have some fun. So we have Chris Salmazi saying, I really like She-Hulk in leadership as well. She has the HP, not the chump block, which makes it easier to strengthen numbers, which I completely agree. She-Hulk with strength in numbers. Hulk, strength in numbers is a great card, and I don't want to talk too much about it right now because it's going to come when I start talking about Captain America and all that, what that hero pack opens up. But yeah, that strength in numbers is amazing for the leadership strategy where you're using allies as resources. All right, so let's ready up.
Oh, let's just make sure. I still got Shuri I could use if I need to knock anything out. Do I need to take out?
If you want, you could also knock Titania out if you want, and you can remove the last threat to try to see if we make sure we don't get deck out.
And so she has 1 health, right?
Yeah. So if you knock her out with Shuri,
let's do that.
So she comes back at 6, and then you can have some fun with your tag team.
Okay. Here's one other thing I'll just maybe interject too, and this is part of what you were talking about earlier. So by putting this tag team out onto the table, that keeps 1 more card from being in my discard pile as I recycle my deck. So correct. I'll get to those cards that I really, really want sooner by placing that out on the table rather than hanging on to everything, trying to avoid that encounter card. So yeah, I think that's another great advantage. So tag team is going to do 2 damage, right? To Klaw? Yeah. Might as well.
You want to do it to Klaw or Titania, whichever you want. Actually, if you do it to Klaw, it's good. So we are going to be wasting Nick Fury because both of us are in alter ego.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Unfortunate. I'm going to hang on to that vibranium, draw up my 3 cards, which is another Wakanda Forever Genius and Avengers Mansion. So like you were talking earlier, I've got the resources now to pay for an Avengers Mansion.
And it's free.
Yeah.
So, and I also have the resources to play a Gamma Slam, and I'm at 6 health.
Nice.
So I'll be able to do a Mega Gamma Slam next turn.
Okay. I'm shuffling my deck, so that'll
I will deal you an encounter card.
Yep, I'm shuffling it up. So
I'm going to go ahead and object. We're still going to place 2 threat up here, +1. So 3. So instead of placing 3, I'm placing 2. Klaw is going to scheme for 2 +0 +1. So 3. So that is going to go to 6. Then he's going to scheme against you for 2 +3. So that is 5. So that goes to 11 out of 12.
Mm-hmm.
Encounter for me, encounter for you. Advance. Weapons runner, which will surge into Klaw heals 4. So he goes right back up to 10. And then your encounter card is discard a random card. You might not get to play that Avengers Mansion.
Well, let's look at what I got because I drew up my 6 cards. I got Energy Daggers, Hulk, Wakanda Forever, Genius, Avengers Mansion, and Vibranium. So those are the 6 cards that I'm going to shuffle into my hand. Pick a number between 1 and 6.
Number 3. Lucky number 3.
You picked it, Hulk. And you took Energy Daggers.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
And here's the fun part. Sonic Boom. So now you have to exhaust each character you control.
Okay.
Or spend the 3 resources. Now you do have a Vibranium. So if you don't want to get exhausted, and then what I can do is I can also feed you some resources. So if you don't want to exhaust all your characters,
Well, so I have to spend 3 resources, all three types, right?
Correct. So it would be like your Vibranium and Hulk there, and then you would be okay. Or you just wait. And then what we do is you just exhaust and be like, all right, whatever.
I mean, really all I've got is T'Challa and Shuri, she would just be defeated anyway if I were to take an action with her. So I'm not too afraid to. I am sitting at 5 health. I was kind of hoping to heal this turn, but I guess I'll just exhaust my characters. And
so
maybe.
So you do have your Vibranium suit that pushes damage. So you
Right.
can heal for 2, which is half your recovery.
Gotcha.
If you decide to play that Wakanda.
Yeah.
So Nick Fury will go away. And here, you can start by, and it's your turn to play first. So there is an Avengers Mansion on my side and a helicarrier if you absolutely need it. If not, then I can use it to do some nastiness.
Okay. I also have an Avengers Mansion that I could put out. And you
But
could
don't
use
forget, you also have an extra 2 cards to draw.
True. Got the Golden City. Thank you. Let's do that right away. And we draw the Power of Aggression, and we draw a Strength card. Wow.
Well, that does not make that easy, right?
It does. So Genius and Strength to put out Avengers Mansion. If I were to flip up, I could do my Wakanda Forever, and you could use the Avengers Mansion and the helicarrier of mine if you'd like.
Well, I would not say no to that.
I'll do that then. I'll flip over to Black Panther's side, and like you said earlier, I can recover for 2 damage. If I were to do 2 damage, I could do 2 damage, remove a threat, and heal for 2, and do 2 damage to whoever, whether you think it's Titania or
Titania for sure.
Yeah. So why don't we do that? I'll spend the Power of Aggression to play the Wakanda Forever. We'll use up all 3 of those. I'll heal for 2. You do 2 damage over there.
Yeah. So remove a threat. So push 2 damage. And do you want your tag team to take her out?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take her.
She's out. All right, perfect.
You have a helicarrier and a mansion.
Thank you. I will take those. I will use my ground stump to remove 2 more threats off the main with my superhuman law division because I'm smart. I'm super smart. I will draw mansion for me. I will draw mansion for you. So good. All right. I will then not recover. I will flip to She-Hulk form and defeat this by, do you even lift? Because She-Hulk defeated, I will remove a threat down to 7. I will take 2 damage, go down to 4, draw 2 extra cards. God, she's good. All the resource in the world. Da 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 da. And then we're gonna play Gamma Slam. And then she hits for 11 damage on our friend Klaw, which takes him out. And we go to stage 2.
Okay.
It goes to 36 plus 10, because now we got to find the Immortal Klaw.
Here it comes. The Immortal Klaw.
The Immortal Klaw, which has 6 threat on it.
Got to get rid of that.
It's an acceleration. It's not that bad.
Get rid of that thing.
All right. And I haven't used your helicarrier yet, so we're going to be using that in a second.
Okay.
All right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to thwart that for 2. That's going to go down to 4. Klaw is going to take a damage with Daredevil. Do you see what I mean with just keeping Daredevil alive?
Yep.
So good.
Nice.
I am going to use a legal practice to heal Daredevil. I am then going to use your helicarrier, my helicarrier, and a 1-2 punch to play Blocking Bird, which is going to stun Klaw. And then I'm going to remove 2 threats from the main scheme. Mockingbird will remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So that goes to 4. And when I get a Power of Justice, I'll be able to come back into this game and remove the Immortal Klaw, and I keep the Power of Justice here.
What an amazing turn that was.
Thank you. Well, I did have 10 cards, so that does help.
Thanks for the Blocking Bird. All right.
It does help when you have, oh, there you go. So look at my hand. Double for justice.
Wow.
So there will be no more threats, and I will flip back down.
4 and 5. I did manage to get 2 Wakanda Forevers.
Oh, there you go. It's going to be awesome sauce. So there's 1, 2 acceleration plus 2. This is going to go to 8. Hopefully we can keep it under control. Klaw is stunned against you and wishes to attack me. Would you mind giving me Shuri as a blocker?
Shuri is the blocker. That's what.
Thank you, sir. And Shuri will take 2, 3, 4 damage.
She gone.
All right. Am I putting encounter cards in my deck again? Sometimes that happens when when I'm playing a 2-person game there. I'm like, oh, I forget, I'm putting stuff in the wrong piles.
Oh. And
then I'm like, oh, there's that card.
Do all your cards have the same sleeves?
Yeah, my foil sleeves. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For some, it's because you know what? When we were playing Mysterio, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna put them all the same. So 1 encounter for you, 1 encounter for me. Are we gonna see M.O.D.O.K? Okay, so sound body manipulation, solid sound body, which needs 1 of each to remove, and now he has retaliate. And the defense network. Where is Jessica Jones when you need her?
No kidding.
All right. So here we go. So I will call for. Oh no, it's my turn first. So I'm going first. So my turn's pretty simple. It's going to be for justice. I'm going to remove the defense network. I'm going to play for justice. I'm going to remove the Immortal Klaw.
Nice.
And then he's down to 35 health.
Takes care of some health.
I will take 2 damage and draw 2 cards. There she is. I was wondering where she was. Where she was.
She was. Right.
Where she was. I'm going to thwart for 2 and deal a damage to Klaw, 34. I'm going to thwart for 1 with Mockingbird. If I get your helicarrier, no, wait, do I need your helicarrier? 1, 2, yes. If I can get your helicarrier, I will take the mansion. I will give you the mansion.
I'll take the mansion. You can have the helicarrier.
Perfect. So Steve Carrier, BGL Carrier, and a legal practice to play Hellcat, which is going to remove 2 more threats.
Good deal.
And take a damage. And I will let you draw a card. I will flip down and recover back to 7.
Thanks for that card. I got Vibranium.
Oh, well, there you go. So you can so you'll be able to get rid of the sound thing.
Yeah.
So your turn, sir.
And I can also use my Avengers Mansion since you did not use that, correct?
There you go.
All right, so I'll draw another card, which is a Relentless Assault. It attacks minions. There's no minions on the table, but I could use it with the vibranium to get rid of that sounds body.
Done. It's gone.
How about I'm gonna Wakanda Forever twice. How's that?
That sounds perfect.
So let's figure out how much damage I'm gonna do first. So we got tag team. I might as well go ahead and exhaust that and get rid of that.
Are you forgetting the golden rule?
Oh, the golden rule.
So do you really need to do the 2 damage with that, or is it more beneficial to keep it out of your deck?
Hang it out of my deck. I've got about 2/3 of my deck still intact. So, but like you said, yeah, we'll just hang on to that for the end and see if we really actually need it then. So that's good point. Good point. We do definitely need to use the Wakanda Forever's this turn. So, how about can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Hear me okay? All right. So Wakanda Forever. Let's do some, let's move a damage from Panther over to Klaw.
Down to 33.
Let's take off 2 threat.
There's only 3 threat on the board. So if you want to do 1 threat and 4 damage.
Yeah. 1 threat, 4 damage. That's what we want to do. Yep, for sure.
All right. 1 and then 4 damage. He is down to 29.
Down to 29. So I'll do the same exact thing that we just did. The 1, 1, and 4 with my second forever. That'll heal me back up to 9 at least.
Yeah, and he's down to 23, and I'm pretty sure we can take him out next turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Would you hang on to Tigra or discard her? I mean, she's
at this point in the game. I think you can discard her. She's not.
It would be more advantageous for me to get a Wakanda Forever.
I think at this point, I would agree. Yeah. And you haven't even used your hero yet.
Haven't used him, so we'll go ahead and pop Klaw for 2 more. Or take care of the threat.
No, there's only 1 threat. So he is down to 21. And we have our friend Brant. So he's like, wow, so many resource cards in the core box precons. But check out the work they are doing. That's right.
Good. Blowing it up.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see you say heyo. And so I have a blocker for you in the form of Mockingbird. I do take another encounter. There she is, Jessica Jones. Could have been good yesterday, but did you see? I skipped on Jessica Jones for that extra resource card.
Yeah.
The Focused Rage.
Right.
And I didn't regret it.
You got so much value out of that it's crazy.
Exactly. Because allies are commodities that go away. But that Focused Rage is something that is basically an Avengers Mansion for 1 less. So I took myself an encounter card. And then 1, 2. Oh, there's my split personality. All right. 4, 5. And then Nick Fury. All right, I'm going to be doing a lot of damage again. I think we got this game.
I think so too. I pulled up a haymaker. If we manage to get a minion out on the table, I've got Relentless Assault. I've got another Wakanda Forever, so that's 5 more damage plus the tag team.
I really hope we see M.O.D.O.K. I really want to see a Doomsday Chair because we haven't seen one yet, and that could be also why our game has been going so well. So sometimes, we avoid certain encounter cards and, everything goes super well. And then we could have gotten M.O.D.O.K. and the 2 Doomsday Chairs turn 1, and we might have been a little bit more in trouble.
I can't believe M.O.D.O.K. was at the bottom of the encounter deck.
As the last card. It happens. Like I said, sometimes it's just there. So I'm going to place 2 threat. Objection instead of 3. So instead of it going to 4, and then he is going to scheme against me for 2, 3. Give the villain an additional boost card. 3, 4, 5. So that goes to 8. And then he wants to attack into Mockingbird for 1, 2, and nothing.
So much value out of Mockingbird last couple turns too. That's nice.
And then another encounter card for me and an encounter card for you. Let's see. Doomsday Chair. An armored clown.
We got a guard we got to deal with now.
And discard a random card from your hand. And then you get a weapons runner. Please attach to the minion with the highest printed hit points. Okay, and then he gets +3. So my guard has 6 health. And then you are first player, sir.
I do have that Relentless Assault.
Well, you were begging for minions, so
yeah. So
and then I lose. Boo! I lost my split personality.
Boy,
boo! So sad.
Why? How about if we do a Wakanda Forever?
Yes.
And let me see what I need to spend out of my hand. I don't know that I'll need this Haymaker. I could just use it as a resource.
So don't forget, you also have a Helicarrier and an Avengers Mansion. And you could also have my Avengers Mansion if you so choose.
Yeah.
But you do have a very well-rounded turn. So
I think we do. We got to knock that guard out. That's going to be, what, 6 health at least that we got to take out on him.
Don't forget that I have 2 free damage when I flip.
2 free damage when you flip. I've got the Relentless Assault, which has to attack a minion, and it does overkill.
So you also have a weapons runner who only has 2 health.
Yeah.
So
so yeah, that's one way that we could sneak around the guard is with the Relentless Assault.
Oh, you can attack the villain freely. I'm the only one with a guard.
Oh, because you're the guard. See, the solo player is thinking like globally on that. So
yeah, so the guard is only affects the player that it's engaged with.
Gotcha. So how about we let's do the Relentless Assault. I've been wanting to do that all game. We'll do that under the weapons runner.
Murder him.
We'll do 3 damage to Klaw.
So he is down to 18.
And I have the Wakanda Forever.
So you could always
go ahead.
You could always wait for that because you don't need to do it right now, correct?
The Wakanda Forever?
Unless you want to flip down. But I think at this point, I think we can just win the game.
Right. So are you saying like you would call that out on your turn? Is that
I'll call out for the action.
Okay, you call out for the action. And so there's an Avengers Mansion and the Helicarrier that I could hand that off to you. How about if I use my 1 Helicarrier to just pay for the Haymaker and just do 3 damage to Klaw, just to use the Haymaker card.
Oh yeah. So so you want to that's fine. 3 damage to Klaw. He's down to 15.
Yeah, so I use the Haymaker, 3 damage. That leaves a Wakanda Forever.
With your Helicarrier.
And I'm gonna, well, with mine or yours, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? So,
yeah.
But I had to use one of them in order to play that Haymaker. So
you didn't need you used your double resource.
Oh yeah, that's right. What was I thinking? It was 3. I guess because of 3 damage.
Yeah, I don't 3 damage, 2 resource.
I don't play Haymaker hardly ever. So.
Well, I like it, especially when I talk about Iron Man. Emergency and Haymakers for Iron Man are great.
Okay.
So, especially just using the core box, but we'll talk about that. So, I'm going to draw a card with that Avengers Mansion. And I got a ground stump. Do you want your Avengers Mansion? Are you going to give it to me?
You can have it.
All right. The other ground stump. I'm just looking for my ground smash. What's it called there? All right, so Daredevil's going to thwart for 2 and ping the tough off of this clown, which is what I wanted to do. All right, let's just use a ground stomp for superhuman law division. And 6 is going to go down to 4. All right, I'm going to flip up. bang, and I'll deal 2 damage to Klaw. So he's down to 13. I'm going to take 2 damage, go down to 5, and draw 2 extra cards. Come on, baby. I didn't find it, but it doesn't mean I'm giving up, because I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and a first aid for Nick Fury, and draw 3 extra cards. 1,
Get it.
2. Didn't get there. Wasn't able to get there. It's okay. And I didn't get my 1-2 punch either.
I guess did you already use my Avengers Mansion?
Yeah, I already used that. So I think I will call for an action.
Okay.
For your
Unfortunately, I don't have a resource, do I?
You have your helicarrier.
Yeah, helicarrier. So yep, okay, we'll use that.
The
then.
BGL carrier.
Right. The BGL carrier for the Wakanda Forever. I will heal myself for 1, do 1 damage to. Well, I got to do the guard, don't I? Because he's attacked.
Nope.
Oh, that's because it's me. It's because it's me. Yeah. So 1 damage onto Klaw. Remove a threat and do 4 damage to Klaw.
All right. If you do 4 damage on the guard
instead of the
I can do some, yeah. And then Nick Fury can take him out.
Yeah. Do that.
All right. Thank you.
Whatever works for the betterment of the team here.
I'm going to spend 2 to play superhuman strength. So I'm going to be able to punch for 5. So 12 minus 5 is 7. And then he's going to get stunned.
Brant was talking about Captain Marvel speed run haymakers or money.
Oh yeah.
Back to that haymakers. Yeah,
they are. I'm going to do for justice, remove all the threat. I'm going to use Hellcat to punch him for 1. He's down to 6. I'm going to use her action to bring her back to my hand. And I'm just going to spend 3 resources, even though I don't need to. I'm going to play Hellcat again, bring him down to 5. And then next Wakanda Forever will kill him.
We got that TAC team too, we're reminded.
Yeah, we're super close. We're like, is it there? Oh, I was 1 card away from the Gamma Slam. 1 card away. I know we were still short a couple of points of damage, Brent. But I have 3 allies, and he ain't surviving this turn. So it's going to go up by 3. He is stunned versus Black Panther. He is going to attack Nick Fury for 5. Come on. Doomsday Chair. Advance. So the advance is not even going to resolve yet. Because we decked out.
Wow.
And then he's going to scheme for 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. And there it is. Finally.
The Doomsday Chair.
The Doomsday Chair. All right. Well, now we have to kill M.O.D.O.K.
Yeah, we might as well. I mean,
yeah, we just gotta. He finally shows up.
He's skirting around the whole game, left claw hanging the whole time.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm too busy. I got my own plans to deal with.
Come on, man.
All right. You have a Wakanda Forever?
I do have a Wakanda Forever.
All right. So I will let you draw. I'm going to take 2 damage, go down to 3. Draw 2 cards. And I am just going to use my helicarrier 1, 2, 3 for a Gamma Slam.
You got to slam it. You got to slam it, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then M.O.D.O.K. has been destroyed by She-Hulk.
With a Gamma Slam.
I
That's
know. Now
great.
I just have to clean. So I'm going to remove 2 threats. Remove 2 threats. So that's 4. It's 6 is down to 4. I just want to get rid of the Doomsday Chair.
Oh.
I'm going to remove 2 threat and the 2 tack teams. And I cleaned no side schemes. Interrogation Room removes 1 from the main. And Daredevil deals 1 damage here. And then I have a 1-2 punch. And I will let you finish this game, sir.
All right. Well, since you're going to let me do it, I'm going to go ahead.
Actually, 1 second. I forgot I have 3 resources. I'll bounce Hellcat, play her again. And now you only have 4 threat to remove.
4 threat to remove.
And then we have a clean game.
Oh, yeah. So how can I remove the 4? I've only got 1 Wakanda Forever.
Did you draw from your mansion?
I didn't draw from my mansion yet. So here we go. And it is Ancestral Knowledge. No. So I can remove 2 threat with Black Panther.
There's only 2 left.
Let's get rid of them.
Only 2 left.
2 left. And I only have 1 Wakanda Forever. So if I were to, we can do it. 2 damage, move a damage, remove 2 threat with that Wakanda Forever. And then all I got to do is tack team out. And that'll
tap
be
him
it.
out, or you can actually play your tenacity, or you can uppercut him for the big finish.
We'll just uppercut. Yeah, we'll just plan for an uppercut. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Wakanda Forever!
Oh, there it is. There it is.
We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that threat. Throw it away. Move some damage. That'll put me up to full health. I'm up to 11. And then why don't we just uppercut for 3?
There you go.
For 5. Spend 3 to do 5.
You can overpay. You can tag team and overpay. And voila.
Boom.
Great work.
That's funny. Oh, yeah. Just, I love it. M.O.D.O.K shows up right there at the end. He's skirting us the whole time. And then he just gets punched right in the face with a big old Gamma Slam.
He gets Gamma slapped. Well, man, that was fun. So, and then again, so you can see what the precon, like even the cards from the, Chris says, GG boys. Even with the cards from the core set, even with a stronger modular set like M.O.D.O.K, again, if you take your time, you kind of calculate your plays, you kind of build. And that's what was great with all up until Guardians of the Galaxy campaign, is you could kind of follow this pattern of build a little bit, deal some damage, remove some threat, pace yourself, and then have these big explosive turns. What changed at Guardians, and that's why a lot of people, including myself, kind of got a little upset with it, is it just completely eradicated that mode of play, which is don't take the time, deal with stuff now, and hopefully the cards fall your way. So that's one of the big issues that I know I had with the Guardians campaign, because I was so used to playing a certain way. And it, like I said, the designers aren't wrong in trying to challenge us to find new ways to play, get out of our comfort zone. Which I think when I go back to it, like I love Drang. I really enjoyed the Collector, the second Collector. I'm okay with the first Collector. I just don't like playing him with the Menagerie. I don't mind him with the Galactic Artifacts, but with the Menagerie, I think it was just too much, especially for solo play.
Yeah.
It was just super taxing. Thank you, David. Saying GG.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I really enjoyed that game. And I learned a lot in that game. And I think kind of like I was talking earlier, I was kind of I feel like I was late to the game when I jumped in at Hulk. I felt like I was kind of behind the 8 ball. I didn't get to see a lot of these, this deck construction and building your board state and being patient and playing like we did today. But I really did learn a tremendous amount playing today about just hanging on. You don't need to do that right now. You can maybe wait later, build your board state. Those cards that just look so appealing, like do 5 damage to this guy or do 3 damage to that guy, that they come out, or that always seems to kind of trip me up. And then I'm just feel like I'm playing from behind for the rest of the game, because he didn't stop. The villain didn't stop. He's building his board state. He's putting his things out. And if I'm not doing equally, if I'm not exceeding him, then all of a sudden, then now I'm chasing him, chasing threat around, doing all these different things. So yeah, it was neat to, especially in 2-player, I saw how, we can tag team, one person's up, one person's down. We can talk about who's going to stay up, who's going to stay down, how much threat we're going to get. So I'm seeing further evidence to like the game, even in multiplayer. Because to be honest, it's like I said, 98% solo up until now.
So yeah. So if you watch the streams with Brant and Brian and myself, when we play our 3-player games, when you first start in multiplayer, it's kind of like riding a bike. It's a little awkward at first. There's like, okay, I have to do this like this, and then it gives you a whole new way of thinking about the game, which instead of being well-rounded characters where our characters can do everything, oh, well, my character can focus on one thing and do it really well. So let's say I was playing the She-Hulk in a 3-player game. All right, well, now I have to think about, okay, if I'm the threat remover guy, what can I do by myself, and what am I going to need help with? Okay, so let's say I'm playing with Black Panther and I'm playing with Iron Man. All right, so Iron Man's another character that wants to stay down a lot and try to build his armor, and he might take a couple turns. All right, but once Iron Man has his 7-card hand size, well, he can pretty much stay in hero form, and I can keep going and doing what I want to do. So it's just like when you're building in multiplayer, sometimes it's good to think about what are the other players playing, and how, in my aspect that I am choosing, how can I enhance their experience, which can help the whole table all around. Right. And that's something that's very interesting to this game that you wouldn't see in like just when you're playing solo.
Yeah, I liked too when playing this particular game. So you had so many like bursty cards and cards that built off of each other and comboed off of each other, but you needed a little additional economy. And so I'm playing with a character who can either use that economy for himself or he could share it otherwise. And I still was not like, my board state was still great. I mean, I still had my upgrades out there. I had some supports out there. I was able to put a couple of allies out there and, use those, kind of do things to kind of keep things under control on my end while I'm able to feed you cards and give you resources to be able to really come up with those combo-y things. And is that what you're finding with She-Hulk, is that she has those abilities to get those big hands and combo off of things? And
well, yeah. So a lot of people think, I've got to stop a lot of people. When players play with She-Hulk, they tend to forget that she has she's the only hero that has a double card draw in her kit. She has card draw included in her kit with the focused rage. And that is 2 resources every turn for 2 damage, which is very, very powerful. So when you look at, all right, if you look at She-Hulk with a hand size of 4, which is, again, what a lot of the new players will go into, I don't play with Jennifer Walters. I play with She-Hulk. So I'm staying 3-4 turns, and then the villain will advance, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't like it. I can't control threat. Well, if you look at her card kit, her threat removal is in all her alter ego state. She can do that while she's in alter ego. So why not take advantage of that every turn? And if you play her in aggression, all the same. Even if I'm playing She-Hulk in aggression, I can still take advantage of her alter ego side. I would have played more into what's her name there, Hellcat. You play Hellcat, and then she removes the threat while you go back to hero form and you keep punching, and you play your events to punch, and then you just come back next turn, and then you have threat under control. And that's what's great about that the She-Hulk character is you can really play into both sides of her personality, and that's what really attracted me to that character when the game started. I loved Spider-Man because I'm like backflipping and everything. That was awesome because Spider-Man, you want to be in hero form. Like you don't really need to flip down until you need your cookies from Aunt May.
Right.
But She-Hulk is like, why would I limit myself to a hand size of 4 when I can just flip down, prevent the threat, remove 2 threat with my alter ego Law Division, remove 2 threat with my ally. There's no rush. And that's I think what's missing when a lot of new players start playing these core heroes.
Yeah.
All we think about is I'm in hero form, I want to punch.
Punch. Okay,
and that's
short punch, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. And so it just looked like it was much more puzzly for you. Like it gave you an opportunity to just kind of to build things, put things together, craft your board state, and then just really take advantage of it. Bam, right there at the end. So I could see the real appeal, particularly if somebody is more advanced as they advance through their skill sets and whatnot, you know, gravitating more to like a She-Hulk character rather than just a the Spider-Man backflip, and you know, just hit you for 8, backflip, hit you for 8, backflip, and just keep doing that, which feels great, especially when you're new. And like I saw somebody there ask the question, is BGL new to the game too? I think the reason why I feel like I'm new to the game is because for the longest time I only got to play like once a week. So when you've got 20 heroes to pick from, and you really only have time on the weekend to play maybe a game or 2, because you know I work full time, I'm busy, I don't have time during the week. We've got other things in our lives that we do.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm new because every week that goes by, you're just playing one hero against one villain, or maybe 2 heroes against a villain. And it always tend to be like, well, let me see what this precon will do, you know. So, or here comes this new card out, so let me try that precon deck. So I have a lot of experience with just the precons, not as much in the deck building. But that's what's nice about it, is you can go in so many different directions. If somebody wants to just play precons, they can. I saw the other day where somebody posted, well, I just play precons all the time. I think it's one of the guys in the let's see which one. Crimson says he plays most all the time. That's from the Marvel Champions Monthly podcast. He said that, and nothing wrong. Yeah,
there's
fun.
Nothing wrong with that. And I think as you see decks or Marvel CDB come out, and then you're like, oh wow. And I think I'm guilty of that too. Is I was even when I started, like when I started my channel during the first COVID, I was looking at what was out there, what content was out there, and I was like, nobody's playing heroic. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to show people how to beat the game on the heroic difficulty using every character. And I was like, boom, boom, boom. And I was playing that on heroic. I have a game with She-Hulk. I had a game with Hulk. I have a game with like all the other characters, and just showing like, look, you can do it on heroic. It's possible. And then trying to beat villains. And then there's some that were super challenging. There's some that were not, that was just easier. But again, when you start the game, it's interesting to learn about the mechanics and what makes a hero special. And one things that I would highly recommend is try the heroes in the different aspects. Mm-hmm. And then when you get a new hero pack, Like, look at what that hero is bringing to the table. Like, oh, who did I like in leadership? And then I'm like, okay, so then I think the next pack is Captain America. And Captain America has the Avengers. He brings the Avengers Tower. He brings not the Triskelion, but he brings like a few really good allies. He brings the strength in numbers. Oh, okay. So how do I, if I look at these cards, what's cool about these cards? Well, oh, cool. There's this new card, and it's amazing. It's like strength in numbers was the card to come out of the Captain America pack.
Right.
And that just opened up a strategy that wasn't there before with the allies as resources. So now you're thinking like, why chump block with my allies? And I paid 3 resources or 4 resources to put that guy on the table. Why would I just block with him and then he goes away and then I have to pay for him again, setting me behind? But with the strength in numbers, then I'm like, all right, well, my ally is there. I can use him once or twice. And then, sweet, I'll draw a card off of him now. Now my allies are drawing me cards. I'm like, that's just money. And then how other cards later on went into that aspect and then developed that. And that's what's fun about all the aspects is every time a new hero pack comes out, then it just increases the possibilities. Like, ooh, is this interesting with this character? Is it interesting with this character? Does it change the game a little bit? But again, not everyone's going to take the time to just like look at this and be, let me figure this out. So that's why you got clowns like me on the YouTubes and other guys in on the CDB that just, they think about this stuff, who have way too much time on their hands that should be probably doing dishes or cleaning the house, but yet spend time playing this game and try to help the community, try to like, oh, look what I figured out, cool, let's share it. Again, sorry.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got excited when I saw your announcement that you were going to kind of go back from the beginning and you were going to, because I do like to play in a limited format, like I call this limited because we're just only playing with the core set. So what was it about the core set that was so special? Why did it take off? Why did people like it in the beginning? And what did I miss? Because like I said, come in 6-8 months after the game's already established and it's kind of overwhelming. So I do like if you continue this series, it's going to be nice whenever you can finally like get further down the road and you say, well, this is a card that we used last time and we're not using it anymore because we got something that does it just a little bit better, or does it better for this particular hero or in this scenario. So I really like the concept of the series that you decided to the direction that you decided to go, because you have plenty of content out there where you showed us how to beat the game. Like just beat it down.
And now I think, that's
begin,
I think now it's more focusing on just playing the game. But it was challenging. The first episode I made with Spider-Man, I wasn't too sure how I was going to bring it up. And then I think I re-recorded that episode like 8 times just to figure out what I want to talk about without going too much into what I was doing before. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to go into too many rules, but I do want to point out a couple of things sometimes, like, that's easy to miss when you're new to the character. And like my video was 40 minutes and I was like, Brian was talking to me, Brian DeCastro and Brant, they're giving me some feedback. What you can, if you cut a little bit of that out and just focus a little bit more. And then I was able to bring it down to about 20 minutes for the She-Hulk and the Black Panther videos. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think this is a good format, just focusing on one thing. The problem is Spider-Man came in the aspect that I liked them the least. I did not like Spider-Man Injustice in the precon, because that's what that was recommended. I'm like, he could have very well been in protection, and I really liked him in leadership thematically.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to go for. And I think thematically, She-Hulk for me is, yes, aggression, but yes, justice makes the most sense. Even Black Panther, it's leadership, and I like him aggressive. And then I was like, I don't really like him in protection either. I was like, I don't really like what with the available card pool. That's what I meant. You know, like what was available at the time. It didn't resonate with me as much.
Mm-hmm.
But going further, then I'm like, oh yeah, I really like Black Panther now with the cards like Muster Courage. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tough everyone off for 3, and I'll play all these cards and just like, okay, and I really like Black Panther Protection now as a supporting character who has all these little upgrades that just throws on other people, deck thins to the max, and then just plays 3-4 Wakanda Forevers every other turn, and you're just like laughing. David, let's see what okay. Brand, second step, add symbiote suit to your heroes. And David's talking about, I tried the leadership Spider-Man you suggested against Ultron. I did not like it that much, to be honest. I tried aggression Spider-Man just for the fun and finally beat Ultron. Oh, there you go. And sometimes, you know, fighting the villain, it depends. Like Ultron is one of those tricky characters, and he's fun hard, not oppressive hard like Ronan, where just is like you know you're gonna lose if you get the wrong card. But Ultron just takes some of your stuff away and turns it against you, which is it's fun, it's thematic, and it's like it can really mess your strategy, which is it's fun, but it's not like, okay, it's not every card doesn't have surge. Every card doesn't just like, oh man, I need to spend 17 resources to get rid of this. I'm like, okay, you can still move on. But if you don't take care of those drones, you're going to get swamped at one point. So
I think one of my favorite games was playing Black Widow precon against Ultron. I think that's whenever I really started liking the game, because that game felt like it took forever. I felt like I was just constantly just trying to stay above water, stay afloat. And at the same time, she was able to do it. So it was a really fun game to play that. And I think if I could go back to one game where I said, I understand this game, why it's so appealing, why it's so much fun, I think that was the game that did it for me. And then I just pretty much went from there. So, because I couldn't beat Ultron with any of the decks that I had. I just couldn't do it. I felt like it's early on. This guy's undefeatable, and then being able to beat him with Black Widow was just like such a reward. So
cards like Iron Man, you couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Black Panther, because Black Panther was the best suited for Ultron.
I just didn't get enough reps in to really. I didn't stick with one thing long enough to really get good at anything. So in the precons, like you said, Spider-Man precon is kind of, probably not so much with Ultron and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, it kind of grew on me. The game did from that point forward. So
Brent's like, Brent, aren't you supposed to go to bed? Don't you have school tomorrow?
Speaking of go to bed.
Yeah, man. It was super good. It was super fun playing together.
One thing about the She-Hulk, I wish, because for a while there, I liked to put my collection together where everything was in its precon. You run into a problem.
There's 2 aggression decks.
Yeah. So, like, what do you do at that point? So here's what yeah, go ahead.
Easy enough. All the cards from the core set have since been reprinted. So you can easily now, if you have everything, you can make another aggression deck. Every card.
Is it in the it's not in the extras though? And
no, but once you start buying the other hero packs.
Yeah.
So most of the cards have been reprinted. So what she needs to double up.
I cheated. What I did was I just bought an extra Captain America, and I gave that to Iron Man. So, so Iron Man gets leadership. She-Hulk gets aggression, and I call it a day. So
there you go.
Had me an extra Captain America in there. So,
well, thank you so much, Billy. It was super fun.
I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for having me on. And,
we could do that again anytime. Just
Learned a lot.
Shout out. You have the Zoom. I don't have Zoom, so like I I am dependent on Zoom people that have a Zoom account for these live streams.
Well, glad I could provide something. Maybe next time I'll bring cookies.
There you
And that shout out to Brant too for helping me figure out how to do this. So thanks, Brant.
Yeah. Well,
all right, bud.
Have you played Eon Zen? Marvel Champions remind me of Eon Zen. First time I played Marvel Champion is more fun though. No, I have not played Eon Zen, David. But maybe I'll check it out. I think I've seen the box. It's kind of like spacey, I think, Eon Zen. But I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Right.
There's been a dozen people in the chat all night, so there's definitely something about this format that is appealing to a lot of the new players. So I'm definitely going to stop trying to use the word definitely, but I will keep going with this format for as long as time permits.
Nice.
And yeah, so thank you. What do you like to show on? I don't know if you've been doing more content recently, or have you slowed down a little bit?
I've been putting out about one video a week. I had one where I did an unboxing. I hadn't really got a chance to really look too much at the Nova cards. I mean, I watched people do playthroughs, but it's always been kind of in the background while I'm doing other work, just kind of like it's almost like a calming effect to listen to guys play cards or whatever while I have it running while I'm hanging out. So I haven't really got a chance to dissect the Nova cards. So I recently put out a video just this past weekend where I unboxed it, read through all the cards, and then immediately went into a game with Rhino and the new Armadillo is the his new guy. So I put that video out. People seem to like that one. I don't know. You guys do it so much better than I do, but I have fun. I'm just doing it for fun,
That's the thing. You don't, and there's no better or worse. It's just different styles and different ways to play. So,
and I do like it whenever community members, pick out something that I did wrong, because there's a lot of rules. And when you're streaming, or not streaming necessarily, but when you're recording, there's so many things that get in your way of your thought. I might mess up on my dial and actually not give myself enough damage or too much damage. So I always like it when people kind of slow me down and say, hey, look, at this point, you messed this up, or you interpreted this card wrong, because I just learn whenever people share that kind of information with me. So
yeah, and trust me, it will keep happening. Even after 2 years, I still make tons of mistakes. I would say reading is key.
Yeah.
I sometimes I assume, and I had to take down both my Ironheart videos because I kept making mistakes. That like she has a 4 hand size on stage 1, and I did it the first turn, and then turn 3, turn 4, I'm like, I start drawing 5 cards. I'm like, why?
I mess up on simple things like hero action. Like I'll do it in alter ego, and I know better than to do that. I don't know if there's a way to make this bolder, or maybe get a highlighter out and highlight those things to where it stands out a little bit better. That would help, But
so I think that's the best thing, is just like reading out the cards, what you're doing, and that's something I've been starting to do with this series, is just slow down. If people are watching me, it's because they enjoy what I have to do. So they're enjoying the content. So I don't need to rush through it. Yeah. Just enjoy it. It's not a race. And that's one thing I think I was too focused on trying to keep the video short and sweet.
Yeah.
And just going too fast. But like I said, just slow down, read the cards, take your time.
Have fun.
Have fun. And that's what people enjoy. They enjoy your enjoyment of the game. How weird that sounds, but yeah,
it works. It's what got me into it. People on podcasting, people who are putting out content, that's what got me even further excited about the game. So Yeah. Thanks to everybody that's put out stuff. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to your channel and a lot of the other channels, podcasters and all that. So, all right, bud.
Cool. All right, we're gonna say goodnight.
All right.
We're gonna cut the stream short, and we're gonna call it. So thank you guys so much. If you like the videos, please leave a thumbs up. If you haven't seen Board Game Lawyer, please check out his channel, The Board Game Lawyer, and you can find him. I think your channel is, so you can find him in my channel. If you go through the things, he's there on my channel, so you can watch that there and find him there. And then after that, we'll see you soon. Next week, we'll be talking about Miss Captain Marvel for the Beyond the Precon. So that is going to be a fun one. So until next time, guys, keep on playing Marvel Champions. Remember to play the game and hope these videos will help you beat the game. Ciao, ciao, and good night, guys.
Wakanda forever!
Wakanda forever!
Take care, bud.
You don't need to hang up. I'm just